Hi everybody, and welcome back to Yukikaze Gaming. We're going to be continuing our Neon Dynasty Kamigawa draft again here. Um, we're up to 6 wins and 2 losses, which means this next game will be our final game of this draft, one way or another. Um, and if we're lucky, we might be able to retire this deck and get the full prize of 2,200 gems and 6 packs. Um, so let's see what we can do. We're still running the same green-white deck that I started with at the beginning of the draft here. We've gone up against some rather tough opponents along the way, um, as well as gotten a few victories that didn't feel quite as earned, but that's the way of the game. Um, uh, Not every match by nature is going to feel fair. Sometimes somebody is just going to have some bad RNG and lose for that reason. Other times, they've lost in the meta. They just didn't, get a strong enough deck, or they didn't make good decisions with their drafting, or they didn't make good decisions with their deck building, um, and have left themselves vulnerable. And of course, sometimes the bad RNG is in the draft phase itself. You can't always pull amazing mythic rares. Sometimes you just pull nothing of use and try to force a color and don't draft any rares or bombs or anything in that color, and it's just sad times. Okay, um, we've got a few things we can drop. We've got land in both colors. We've got at least 3 land. It's a pretty ideal hand. Go ahead and keep that. We'll hold on to Boseiju as long as we can, um, just because we do technically have the option of using it for its channel effect. I think the correct play here is to play the Go Shintai. Probably do one of our 3 drops next turn. No blocks. Drop a lifelinker. It should slow them down. They'll be reluctant to attack into that. With their current board state, they'll not only lose a creature, but I'll gain life, which is pretty much the opposite of what they want. Okay, so they're actually white-red. They may not have started with that mountain from the looks of it. Alright. So at this point, we'll go ahead and drop our Boseiju, just as a land. Ideally, we'll actually combat trick here, kill off their 7-tail mentor, and get a +1/+1 counter on the Golden Tail Disciple, gaining some life in the process. The fact that it gives something a +1/+1 counter when it dies as well is annoying, but at least the damage will already have been dealt at that point, so they won't be able to finish off my Disciple if that happens. And they double block. Interesting. Alright. Just let the damage go in. And then what we'll do is Ancestral Katana. And we'll end the turn. Auto pay the Goshintai, let that get bigger. And let them attack into me and then light the way to kill probably their Kitsune Ace. Oh, interesting. Now that could give them some serious card advantage, which is bad for me. But as it stands, I killed their creature, made my creature bigger, gained some life. Not a bad turn of events on my side. So let's see, if I equip the katana, be a 5/5. I'm, in this case, probably better off dropping Befriending the Moths. And attacking for 4 in the air. And then if they do attack, as it stands, they're gonna lose the creature. Oh, is Menace? Yeah, it's Menace. Okay. That's a pretty good little combo. Gains control of all permanents. Ah. Interesting. Okay. Three, 4, 5. I mean, they could kill my Shintai this way. A 5. If I draw a land. I did not draw a land. That's fine. And then are you gonna chump block my 4/5 flyer? just gonna hard cast this. Oh. Yeah, that's a thing I should definitely do. I really need to get rid of that enchantment. But I should do it after I attack. Okay, if they don't do anything, all that happens is I gain life. Yeah, that thing needs to go. It seems to be pretty much the entire core of their deck right there. Man, so many sagas. Obelisk. You tell many stories. Let me sing you the song of my people. Okay. They've kept mana open specifically for tapping me down. With their Moth Rider Patrol. Yep. Just come in with the Imperial Moth. I'm actually gonna drop the Bearer of Memory, because I can use it to keep making the Imperial Moth bigger, which could turn into a big problem for them. They have an awful lot of card draw for white-red. I will grant them that. They're still not in a great position despite that, though. Okay, that gives us some additional options. If nothing else, it gives a pretty good finishing move. So I might want to keep that in my hand. And then use it to finish them off when the moth gets through. something to do about that? You've got 5 mana open. You're in red. Oh. Very interesting. Now things have suddenly become dangerous for me. Because that's quite a large board that they have. And that Architect of Restoration is going to be a real thorn in my side. I do have removal that can destroy it, but I don't have any in hand presently. Oh, interesting. They didn't tap me down. Four, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm okay with that order. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Well, I removed a big threat, did some serious damage to their board, gained a bunch of life. So, I'm still not entirely unhappy with that play. They're not in as defensive of a position as I'd like for them being that low on life. It's the one issue. So much card draw. They can tap me down. They've got 3 power worth of blockers on the field. They can just tap me down, though. Yeah, it's definitely the smart play here. I was worried this episode might be a little short, but we're definitely getting our time in on this one fight. are kind of slowly wearing me down here. But I don't really need to panic yet. I think no blocks. So they'll probably tap down my Coiling Stalker again, if I had to guess. Yep. And then, in response to that, I'm going to exile their enchantment creature. And they didn't get a card out of their Papercraft Decoy. One less card for them. This might be another round where my opponent decks himself at this rate. Under the circumstances, I think I actually need to hard cast my Blade Blizzard Kitsune. Just so I have more threats on the field. That'll help them mill themselves faster. I don't know how many more bombs they are hiding in that deck that they might go trying to dig for, though. No blocks. It's only 3 damage. I'll live. Okay. Fair enough. I'm perfectly happy to kill both those. can't really attack this turn unless they tap me down with the Moth Rider, which will leave them open. What is this now? Exile up to one target artifact or creature until it leaves the battlefield. I see. Exile target artifact or creature. Huh. So he's attacking me with just the Ronin, but I don't have any solid defenders at the moment. So he's gonna get in with 1 damage, I guess. It's such a weird round. Okay. And he'll tap me down. Attacks. For those watching, this is a really good game of Magic, by the way. Wow, okay. So he did have another finishing strategy. Doesn't really behoove me to block any of this. It's pretty uncommon that a game goes like this. Just so much trading and back and forth. This is like kind of like the Grandmaster chess tournament kind of deal where, you know, you've got 2 really strong players, both kind of locked in Mortal Kombat. Unfortunately for me, I've kind of petered out, and just drawn into a bunch of land. And I think they have me at this point. Attacking gets me nothing. Oh, that Lion Sash is so good. How did they get so many white rares? Oh, man. It's at least like the 3rd or 4th white rare that they dropped, maybe more? One... Maybe it just feels like there's a whole lot? Oh, some of them got exiled. No, those weren't rares. Huh. Well, the best I can really do is double block here, but it's still lethal. So we didn't quite get to retire the deck, but that's alright. We still got a profit on gems, 1800 for our entry fee of 1500. And we'll go ahead and claim our prize. And why don't we end off the episode by opening some packs and maybe talking about what we pulled. So this is something they started doing a while back, was implementing uncommon legends, which is very interesting to me. In the past, legends were always rare or mythic, and being the legend aficionado I am, it's cool to have more ability to play with legends in limited formats. But unfortunately, them being uncommon means they're not going to probably see a lot of play in older formats and EDH and things like that. I mean, I guess they'll see play in some EDH decks, maybe. Especially the more casual ones. Teachings of the Kirin, this is the same card I was running. I don't really feel like this is strong enough that it should be a rare. Just based on the fact that it has to attack to implement its effect, which is pretty hard to achieve on a 1-1 that has no evasion. It really gets rid of, like, one card in a graveyard, maybe. So it was fun to test out, but I don't, like, I certainly wouldn't give it a high pick. I feel like there's uncommons that would have been better. Goro, a disciple of Yusei. Student of the dragon. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. Create a 5/5 red dragon spirit token with flying. Activate only if you control an attacking modified creature. That's still quite good. I mean, it's a grizzly bear, in the worst case scenario. A red grizzly bear, that's also a goblin, and a samurai. So it has synergy with both of those, which... Normally, goblins are pretty strong, family. Not so much, in this set, but samurai have a lot of synergy. Especially with white-red combinations. And being able to create 5/5 tokens is really strong. There's actually also not, strictly speaking, a limit on that. If you had 10 mana, you could create 2 5/5 tokens. Which is pretty obscene. There is a limitation on activating the effect, but if you can get to that point and activate it, that can be pretty powerful. Even outside of limited, that effect could be pretty strong, and it would be easier to make it functional outside of limited. So overall, interesting card, pretty strong, cool legend. Invoke the Ancients, pretty solid. Green sorcery. Won us some games. Mirror Box. Legend rule doesn't apply to permanents you control. Each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1. Each non-token creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control with the same name as that creature. I really like the concept on this. I don't know how I would use it. I mean, clearly it's designed so that you can make a deck that's just stacked full of legends where you have multiple copies of the same legend. Although the second effect could also make it usable. I mean, I guess you could go for like one legend dot deck, but that wouldn't really pan out. The second effect, though, would have really good synergy if you were playing like Plague Rats kind of decks. Uh, Especially, I can't remember the name of the card, but there's a couple, I think, rats that allow you to have unlimited copies of them in your deck. So you could just run Mirror Box Rat deck, and that would be pretty devastating, I guess. Um, but yeah, interesting. Um, Very cool concept. Not sure of the execution. Uh, I feel like the mirror box itself should probably have been a legend, which would also play into its own flavor, because you could still cast multiple mirror boxes, even though it's a legend, thanks to its own effect. Um, and then it would also be tutorable for things that can tutor for legends. I think that was a real missed opportunity. Maybe there's some specific reason that they didn't do that, because it just ended up making it too powerful in some scenario I'm not thinking of. But I feel like that would have made this card a lot cooler. So Kenzan, Crucible of Defiance. Okay, so it's creates 2 1/1 Kara Spirit tokens. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining me for the finale of this draft, and I hope to see you next time on Yukikaze Gaming. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Um, Subscription especially helps me out. Um, and yeah, hope to see you again.